I hope everyone enjoys the celebration of this week for NAIDOC. And the first of our talkers is going to be our chairman of our board of directors, Mr. Lee Joachim. You can come to the mic. Thank you.
Thanks, Leon. Firstly, I want to acknowledge my elders, both past and present. I would also like to acknowledge the dignitaries here, the Mayor of Shepparton, parliamentarians, and community and visitors as well. Anyway, so today is, well, Rumbalara's Day in regards to raising the flag in relation to NAIDOC Week. And the theme of the week is around, we stand on sacred ground, we learn, we respect. The speaking here today to still be respecting each other today. The importance of NAIDOC Week and the importance of this theme is that we are the land and the land is we, and we must remember that. In taking forward and moving forward into the 751st century of our being on this land, it is important that we do actually acknowledge who we are. We do actually acknowledge the uniqueness of who we are, and we do acknowledge the importance of who we are. Because in that 751st century of our being on this country, there is a lot of information within us in regards to being on this country and surviving on this country in a harsh climate. The importance of what we have as a language, what we have as a culture, what we have as a custom is important to continue on and to continue on that journey of respect. Without respect for each other, we will have nothing. Without respect for those who share this country, we will have nothing. But in true reality, that respect has to be returned. If we cannot be respected as a people, as the oldest living society in this great country, on this great sacred land, then we would be lost. And the loss would not only be significant for us as a people, the Yambena people here today, the loss will be significant for the world. Because without the uniqueness of us as the oldest living society in the 751st century of us being here on this land, then, in true reality, we are losing something much, much more significant. In the true reality that we are whoever we are as Yorta Yorta, Wiradjuri, Wurundjeri, no matter which nation of people we come from, the respect has to be shown and the respect has to be continued. We have to move out of the way of disrespecting each other and move forward together as a united front to ensure that our lands will not be taken from us, to ensure that our language will not be discontinued, to ensure that our customs will not be discontinued, and to ensure that our culture remains strong for another 75,000 years. The importance of recognising the country is to ensure that in respecting that, we are respecting ourselves. For without this land, this sacred land that we stand on, we would be nothing today. It depends on our society ensuring that our culture is alive. It will depend on our wider society in ensuring that our language has a right to live. It will ensure that we as a people of whatever identity that we have, whatever language that we have, has the ability to move on. We have to understand that we have our customs, but we also live in a society that is really influenced by Western ways of living. How do we live in that? How do we return to ourselves in the way that we were before, in respecting each other, respecting our country, using our country? Because if we don't use it, you lose it, as we see with what's happening in Western Australia, Northern Territory. And to think that, crimes of taking people's country, taking people's identity, taking people's language, is still continued on today within this 21st century or the 751st century of our being, then, we've got to stand up. We've got to be strong and we've got to move forward. But we cannot do that without a plan. And a plan has to be in place on how we'll move that forward. How will we be recognised within this greater region of Shepparton in relation to who we are as a people and the uniqueness that we bring? how will we be recognised in the future in regards to us existing over the 75,000 years of us being on this great land? And how will we move forward? And that cannot be done without the wider society working together to ensure that we are working together to recognise the individuality that we have, but more importantly, the camaraderie that we have as Aboriginal people, and the importance of a united front instead of a divided front to ensure that we do exist for another 751 centuries. So without further ado, I'll just finish up there.
I'd just like to welcome Auntie Ella and Salmi to do our smoking ceremony.
The first thing I'm going to say when I get a big crowd like this is when I was a kid growing up on the riverbanks, I was always told, I am the waters, the trees, the earth and the sky, and they are me. And if I don't look after them, then they don't have to look after me. You all have a good think about that. Because if we don't look after them, there's been a lot of destruction done now on them. It breaks my heart when I see a lot of trees being cut down and water's been held back, and the rivers were made to run. They hold them back and let them go. That's why they're no good today. It'll never look like when I was a kid on the riverbanks. Neither will the bush. People going up the sky now, and they're just destructing everything. So it takes a lot of people to think how I think and what I just said and have a good think about it to help protect those things. Because they mean a lot to me and I'll protect as much as I can. And I'd just like to welcome everyone here today, but I always like to put that over when I get a big crowd, as I said, because then we can all do it together. Thank you.
I'd just like to welcome the Dungala Warriors.
Welcome, son. Yep. Welcome everyone. I've been NAIDOC to everyone that's here today. I want to say thank you for welcoming us here today to dance for you, and I hope you enjoy it. We are the Dungala Warriors, local dance group from around Shepparton, Mooroopna way, and I want to introduce our dancers that we're doing today.
And our next speaker I'd like to pull up.
We, the Greater Shepparton City Council, acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, which now comprises Greater Shepparton, pay respect to their tribal elders, we celebrate their continuing culture, and we acknowledge the memory of their ancestors. I'd like to welcome everyone here this morning. I'd especially like to acknowledge Councillors Houlihan and Ginny Adam, and we have apologies from Councillor Summer, Councillor Osvari and Councillor Ryan, and I'd like to pay respect to Wendy Lovell, our local MP, current MP. NAIDOC Week is a significant and important time for all Australians as we acknowledge and celebrate the continuation of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people make to our community.
Good morning, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Really well? Yeah? Thank you, everybody that's spoken so far. I think, though, that it's important to really touch on, like our kids do with their national anthem. Every NAIDOC touch on why NAIDOC has come about. And we're all here today because of a man named William Cooper. For some of you that don't know, 80 years ago, William Cooper had a petition signed for King George VI of the English monarchy. This is before social media, before telephones were even mobiles then, I guess. And one man that pushed that. I'm going to jump all over the place a little bit, so try and bear with me. As some of you may be aware, we here at Rumbalara are undergoing a major rejuvenation in the way we deliver our services and represent this community. We're excited by it and believe it will better enable us to effectively cater to our community and to proactively lead the way in which our people should be represented. And with the help and support of our wider community, some of whom are here present today, our friends and stakeholders, this transition will very much be achievable. We're calling it Arts of Community. It's very much going back to the roots in which our organisation was founded on. How fitting it is that we all come here this morning to celebrate NAIDOC Week, which is this week also going back to its roots.
Wait till you get your photo taken. Come on, man's up there. Where's Artie? Come on.